Hi everybody, Geraldine Little Snippets 1 here, and today I'm going to show you how to crochet a stem with leaves. I was asked to do a tutorial on making a stem with leaves by Mary Hill, so this tutorial is especially for you, Mary, and I hope you like it and I hope it's some use to you. So for my inspiration I used a branch from the garden, a stem from a shrub, and it has leaves that come out at directly opposite each other, and it grows on up into a bud at the top. So this is what I'm going to try to do today, and this is what we're going to be making, a little stem like this. I'll probably only be doing it from about here up to the top, because otherwise we'd be here for hours. We don't want this, because I like to keep my tutorials as short as possible, because we don't have unlimited time on this earth. Anyway, this is what we'll be doing, and this is a great little embellishment for using in your paper crafting or in your fabric crafts. I'm using cotton yarn and a size 4mm crochet hook. I think this is also known as a G hook. Now, the stitches we're using will be a slip stitch, a chain stitch, single crochet, half double crochet and treble, and I'll also be making a picot. So while this wouldn't be a great tutorial, or it wouldn't be maybe suitable for a complete beginner, if you know your basic stitches and you take your time, you should be able to make this. And at the end of the video I'll show you how you can decorate this little stem with leaves up and turn it into a beautiful embellishment. So we start by making a slip loop. And putting it onto the crochet hook. Now I start off by making 6 chains. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And if you look at the branch here, these represent the area from here up to here. And then I make another 3 chains, which are this area here, the tiny little stem that heads out into the leaf. So I'll leave that there at the side, and I'll make another 3. 1, 2, 3. So that's 9 chains in all to start with, 6 for the stem and 3 for the little branch. Then into the second chain from the hook, this fellow here, you work a single crochet, a half treble, or no, a half double, sorry. I'll start that again. I keep making that mistake and I keep going back and redoing the video. Into the second chain from the hook, you work a single crochet, a half double crochet, a double crochet, and a treble. The treble is the one where you wrap the 2 loops around the hook. Then I make a picot by making 3 chain and slip stitching back into the top chain. This is what gives the leaf its point. In other words, this bit here. And you can ignore the hole here where a caterpillar or some kind of a bug ate a bit out of it. We won't be interpreting that in crochet. Well, not today anyway. Then I make a double crochet, a half double, and a single crochet. And while you're doing this, you'll probably pull this, the starting stitch that you went into, the chain, the second chain from the hook. You'll probably notice that there's a big gap here. Now if you're going to be adding flowers or other things to the stem later on, you can ignore this, but to cover it up, what I like to do is to slip stitch back into the first single crochet that you made, and you'll find that this kind of weaves over the hole and it covers it. And then you go back into your three, where your 3 chains were, and you slip stitch into the next chain, and then you slip stitch into the chain after that, which is actually the 6th chain. You're back now at the stem, if you see what I mean. You're back here at you've gone back to the stem. Hope this is making sense. Then you do another 6 chains. And then you make 3 chains for the little branch that the leaf sits on. Then into the 2nd chain from the hook. Here again you work a single crochet, a half double crochet, a double crochet, and a treble crochet. And then for the picot, it's 3 chains and a slip stitch back into the first of the 3 chains. Then we're working the other side of the leaf. We're coming back down. We work a double crochet, a half double, and a single crochet. And there again, if the hole is bothering you, just slip stitch across into the first single crochet, which will close over the gap, or it'll help to close it over. Then you slip stitch into the next chain, and the chain after it, which will bring you back to the stem. And you keep doing that. Just say here, working up along, you're making one side of your stem, and until you decide you have enough made and you want to work the top leaf. Now you can also, you don't have to make 6 chain. You can vary the amount of chains you use, the distance between leaves. You can do your own thing. It's not a pattern, as I keep saying in my tutorials. It's a technique, and I'll try and put the instructions in the description box, but a lot of this is up to yourself and the way you want to make your branch with leaves or your stem with leaves. So we're now going to do the top. Just imagine we're jumped up here and we're right up here at the top bud. So I make 4 chains this time, and I work a single crochet into the 2nd chain from the hook. Then I work a half double, a double, and a treble. Now I'm making all the leaves here the same size, but you could vary this. You could put 3 trebles to make it bigger. It's up to you, whatever you want to do. I'm making the picot now. I've made 3 chains and I'm slip stitching back into the first chain. Then we're making the other side of the leaf, making a double crochet, a half double, and a single crochet. Then to hide the gap, I would slip stitch across into the first single crochet at the very start of the leaf. That is the top of your leaf made. So the next thing you do is you slip stitch all the way down to the leaf. 1, 2, and you'll come to where you're opposite the leaf here. You've made your top branch and you've made your top leaf here, and you're back down opposite the last leaf on the stem. And you'll notice there's a kind of a loop coming out here with another loop at the back of it. So you slip stitch into this loop here, and that'll strengthen your stem. And then off you go again, and you make another leaf. You make 3 chain, and into the 2nd chain from the hook, single crochet, half double crochet, double crochet, treble crochet. Then for the picot we make 3 chain and slip stitch down into the first chain. And then we finish the far side of the leaf by working a double, a half double, and a single crochet. And then to hide the gap, slip stitch into the first single crochet that you made at the start of the leaf. And then, as before, it gets a bit twisted at this stage, but you slip stitch back down into the stem. You'll probably be going under 3 loops at this stage because you are coming back to where you made this leaf here. Then you slip stitch, continuing on, slip stitching down along the 6 chains you made between the first 2 leaves. And then when you come to where the last leaf is here, there again you'll notice this loop and a loop at the back of it. You slip stitch into both loops. And we're going to work our final leaf now. Thanks be. 3 chain, single crochet, half double, double crochet, treble crochet, and then the picot by making 3 chains, slip stitching down into the first chain, and then the far side of the leaf, a double crochet. Now when you're doing this at home, you'll have far more time to, keep it neat and tidy. I'm trying to do this in under 15 minutes. And there, the last single crochet. And because there's a hole here, we'll slip stitch across into the first single crochet. Now you can go under 1 loop of it or 2 loops of it, whichever gives you a tidy effect, because that is really all we're looking for here in crochet. So I have the last bit of stem here. Sorry, I'm trying to get my threads together, and we'll crochet into the next chain, and then you're back down at the stem, so you're crocheting here into the 2 chains that kind of they'll almost come up at you, and then crochet down or slip stitch down along the first chain. So there you are. That's as best I can do it really on camera. You'll have much more time at home to kind of play around with it and fiddle with your yarn and get it right. But I think you should get the gist there, and any questions, just leave them in the comments. So you can finish it off here and maybe pin it out or finish it off. But once you have this done, which is a slightly more presentable version of it, you can add some little flowers, like these die cut felt flowers, to the between each set of leaves. When you do that, you'll find that it will hide some of the gaps and the holes. And in my case, I think it probably hides some of the manky crochet. And here's another version of it. These are little crochet flowers that I added to another branch, and I did this particular branch in a thicker yarn. So for a bigger project, that would be suitable for you know, wall hanging or something. And you could add something to the centres of the flowers as well if you wanted to. And here's another one. Now, this particular branch, little stem with branch, I left off the Picot at the top of the leaves here, and it makes the leaves round, kind of like a money plant. Now, doing it like that might appeal to some people, might appeal to more of you. And then you can also add, say, little buttons like these, something like this. Sorry about that. To the centre of your, you know, to the centre of your stems. So I hope that has given you some idea of how to crochet a stem with leaves. I'll put instructions, as best I can write them out, into the description box. So give it a go and let me know how you get on. And as I said, any questions, leave them in the comments and I'll try and answer them. I know this doesn't look too great. I mean, it is very hard to actually crochet on camera. And I think now, looking back at it, I probably should have used a smaller hook, you know, say a 3 or a 3.5 millimeter, but it was due, as they say, to technical difficulties. So happy crocheting, have a lovely day, bye.